Hello everyone and welcome to this video. It is Thursday at 11 a.m. I have work at 1:30 to 8:30 today. I've eaten some food. I've washed my hair, as you can see. I typed into Spotify. I was like, I want to listen to some nostalgic music right now for some reason. So I typed in 2015 and it gave me a playlist that was 2014/2015 summer. Chef's kiss. Exactly what I needed. I was jamming out to the tunes. Okay, so today's video, I am going to be yapping about my experiences with the weather in the different countries that I've lived in. So I grew up in the UK, went to uni in Scotland. I did a study abroad in Melbourne, so Australia, and I did an internship last summer in Boston, and now I am living in Shanghai for a year. I feel like when you say that all in one go, it literally sounds a bit cray-cray. But yeah, I have experienced lots of different weathers, and also I feel like it's so British of me to be like, let me make a video talking about the weather. But I was kind of inspired because, as you can see from my video 2 days ago, the first one, log number 1, it was like 30 degrees and the sun was shining. That's degrees Celsius, by the way, lol. Hashtag international. But the sun was shining, I was like outside, and that in itself already inspired me to make the video. But I've woken up today, I expected it to be sunny again, because it was yesterday as well, and I was like, let me film this video outside, I'll go on the same bench, whole thing. And I was like, oh, it's literally grey and rainy. Let me actually show you right now. Should I pick up my tripod, or maybe I should hold on. Okay, this is the POV. I'm literally sticking my phone out the window. Can you see this? It's windy, it's rainy, it's a tiny bit misty, but you know what? The cherry blossoms are out. I think those are cherry blossoms. Okay, and to be fair, it's still relatively warm. It's like low 20s, which is, in England, that's it's shorts weather. We're getting the shorts out, we're getting the short sleeves out. Hold on, is this okay? Okay, so as I said, I grew up in England and went to uni in the UK. And you know what, guys? Let me start on a positive note. The positive note is that I love UK summer. UK summer is gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. There's nothing like that sunshine hitting your face after a long period of darkness. And you know what? I feel like it doesn't get too hot to the point where you're like, I feel like I am melting, which obviously in a lot of other countries you do experience that. But off the back of that positive note to start with, I will say for me, the UK weather, it haunts me, guys. Personally, I think all the stereotypes in my experience, they're all true. It rains a lot, it's cold. I also suffer a lot from seasonal depression. So every time it's giving right guys, we're going through the trenches, it's winter again. But UK summers are gorgeous. And Scotland, as I said in my last video, when I studied physics as well, especially in my first semester when I was doing the labs, and I say in the video, this is actually the reason why I switched out physics. I went from maths and physics to maths and psychology, which just in general was definitely the right path. But then a big thing for me was actually the labs really, really scared me off from physics, because they'd be 3 hours. And then in Scotland, the sun sets really early, especially they have long summer days. So sunset could literally be at 9 or 10 p.m. And then in the winter, so I feel like this light is making my shadows look kind of weird, but oh well, let's flip it upwards. But in the winter, the sun literally sets at 3:30 p.m. on the shortest days, guys. it's really rough out here. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. So I would go into those 3-hour labs, and it would maybe be some sort of brightness, daytime when I go in, and then I would come out and it would be pitch black. Pitch black. Oh my goodness. And I haven't experienced that much snow in the UK. I do remember sometimes in sixth form, so this was like 2018, 2017, there was some snow. But aside from that, also my uni was like by the coast. Can you hear that beeping? Should I close the window? I'll close it if there's one more. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. So when I studied abroad in Melbourne, obviously in Australia, their seasons. Oh, one more beep. Okay, we're gonna close this window. But obviously, the seasons are switched in Australia, and still in my brain, I'm like, I can't even get my head around that. I'm like, that is so random. Me when I clearly dropped physics after first semester. But when I left, it was like February of 2023, and I flew out with my massive puffer jacket on because it was like freezing UK winter. And when I landed, it was peak summer in Australia. So that jacket came straight off. I was immediately, it was sweltering, but I was like, the sunshine is out. And I've always said, like, everyone who knows me back home in the UK, like, I'm always like, I just need the sunshine. Like, I'm just like, even if it's like boiling, that to me, I'm happy, I'm gassed. So I feel like the main stereotype that I heard from the weather, especially in Melbourne, is it can be 4 seasons in one day. So it changes a lot. But coming from the UK and London and Scotland, I was kind of thinking, okay, I do feel like I've experienced quite varied, turbulent weather. Like in one day, it can be, some sunshine and then suddenly it's raining. So I was like, oh, I've seen it, like, don't even worry. But obviously, like, okay, so through like I was there February till I think it was June or July, like five-ish months. And the beginning was just gorgeous summer, sunshine, beautiful, really, really hot. And then when it got towards June and May, the autumn was very, very, like, everything was so varied. And I just remember one day waking up in the morning and I was like, oh, it's like sunny, and the air was actually warm, like it was warm. And I think the biggest difference in the UK, like normally the temperature will stay like roughly the same. Like obviously if there's more wind and then rain, it will be a little bit colder. But in Melbourne, in the morning, it was warm. I didn't need a jacket. In the afternoon, when it started raining, I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually freezing. Like it's freezing. And that was crazy. Like I was like, talk about, the weather having mood swings basically. It was pretty extreme. I don't think I've had it when in the UK one day I can normally wear the same outfit and it can like suffice, like it won't be too extreme. Whereas in Melbourne, when it was autumn and especially May and June, you could need a jacket in the morning. You get the idea, basically. The temperature change can be quite extreme. So that was Melbourne. But obviously, Australia, sunshine. Oh my God, I loved it. And then the next place I will talk about is Boston, America. And when I was in Boston, it was summer. So I spent 10 weeks there. It was the beginning of June to like end of or mid-July, kind of. That sounds completely wrong. Beep, bop, beep, bop. Mid-June? I don't even know now. How does that make sense? Anyway, literally me live, like, having my cogs turning. But I was there for 10 weeks, and in the summer. And obviously, it's, like, really hot, really warm. But the big thing was, they said, oh, they get really bad, like, storms there. Like, it'll be, like, really, really warm, really sunny, and then suddenly it will storm. And again, my naive ass coming from the UK and Scotland, I was like, yeah, like I deal with rain. Like I get the vibes. No, when they said storm, they meant storm. Like, oh my goodness. I was like, the first one I experienced, actually, I can't remember if this was the first one, but I remember because I was doing an internship there. And I remember my boss was like, oh, do you, like, make sure, by the way, this evening, like, do you have any plans? Because there's going to be a storm. So like, you got to be careful. Like, I don't know, you're probably not used to the weather here. And I was like, yeah, that was actually a night where me and my friends, we'd seen, and it was like the day before that we'd seen this, that Lana Del Rey was literally performing at Fenway Park. And obviously it was like too late to get tickets or anything, and also tickets were so spenny, but we were like, oh my god, we want to just hang around the area and like be in the vibes, like see everyone in their cute outfits, like go to a bar or something nearby. We were literally like, maybe we can like somehow, like, no, we couldn't see anything, but we were in the atmosphere, and we were like, no, like, let's go, let's do that anyway. And I was like saying, but my boss and like his wife as well were kind of like, you know, you gotta be careful because it's no joke. So we go out and we're like at the bar, and it does start raining pretty heavily, and we start thinking, should we go? Nah, it's fine, like I'm sure it'll be fine. And bear in mind, our accommodation was maybe like a 20 minute walk from Fenway Park, where we were staying that night, where we were just like hanging out. And it started raining really quite badly, and we found out later on that Lana Del Rey had to pause the concert for a little bit because it got so bad. And we like kind of heard the music stop, so we were like, okay, actually, could we even hear the music? I don't know what was happening. Anyway, I have kind of bad memory, but then we went out. We were like, okay, let's go home. Oh my god, guys, I think we have to run. So we're like literally running through the rain, and it's like pouring down. And one of my friends, she had her glasses on, and her glasses were like completely full. She's like, guys, I can't see. And then we were just like running through. We went into a restaurant for shelter because the rain was so bad. Like, no, we were literally looking crazy because there was like hardly anybody out, and anyone who was out was just as silly geese as us who like made the mistake. Like, they were probably tourists or like foreigners too, because we were like, what the hell? And then we were in this restaurant, and I remember because in America we had to bring our passports for ID, and I remember I was like, oh, let me ask the restaurant people if they have anything that like a little bag or something that we can put our passports in, because low-key our bags were getting drenched and the water was going through. So we were like, okay, let's ask. And they only had this like massive Tupperware, but luckily one of our friends, shout out to Jess, her like bag literally was big enough to fit this massive Tupperware in with our 3 passports. It was like running home, we got absolutely drenched, and then after that we were like, right, if there's a storm, let's chill. I'm gonna see if I can like find a video of maybe one of the other storms that I got a video of, and see if I can insert it. But I'm sure as well, like I remember when I filmed it as well, I was like, oh, it doesn't like look as crazy as it actually is. But anyway, so that was Boston. The biggest thing in the summer was got super hot, like really hot. And again, sunshine, I love the sunshine, but then it would be like a massive storm would come, and it would be like thunder and lightning as well. So that was pretty crazy. We were like, okay, after that first experience, we got shocked out of our system. Actually, oh my god, this is like so embarrassing to admit, but I remember when we were running through, and because there was like thunder and lightning as well, when we were in the restaurant, I genuinely was like, guys, like, do we like call the police or something to like give us like a ride home? Because I'm kind of nervous. Like, what if we get struck by lightning? Like, I was just like really paranoid, because I was like, I've never experienced a storm like this before. Like, naive UK girly thinks that she's experienced the rain. No. Anyway, so that was Boston. And then now coming to Shanghai, one big thing that they said was that they don't really experience like spring or autumn. So they mainly only have like just really cold winter, and then it just switches to really hot summer. And again, naive Maggie, like I feel like all these experiences are just like, yeah, like maybe it's just like in my brain, I'm like, maybe it's just a stereotype. Like I'll believe it when I see it. But then I've come here and the switch up is crazy. I landed in beginning of September and it was absolutely boiling, like really, really, really hot, like low-key uncomfortable hot. Like it was, even I was like, listen, I love the sun and I'm not trying to complain because I am sun deprived in the UK, but I just remember like completely just sweating even from like a 2-minute walk outside. And I've been here for like half a year now, so I have experienced the transition from that tail end of summer into what was, I guess, meant to be autumn, but it just switched. Like one day it was just like really, really hot, and then it was just suddenly like, okay, it's winter now, and it was really cold. Luckily, there is a little bit more sunshine in the winters here in Shanghai compared to what I'm used to in the UK. So I'm like, okay, love that for me. But it did get very, very cold, and we were kind of teased a couple of times that, oh, it's gonna, like the weather was like, oh, it's gonna be summer now. Oh, never mind. One of the biggest ones was, so last month I went to Malaysia. So lucky, so crazy. I reunited with my long distance bestie that I met on my Australia study abroad, and shout out to Liv, and Liv is Australian, so she flew from Australia, I flew from Shanghai, we reunited in Malaysia. And Malaysia was really hot, like it's like tropical, so they don't be experiencing the struggles of winter. But when I flew back to Shanghai after the trip, I was like ready with my jacket. And then I remember, I think I got back on like the Thursday evening, and on the Saturday and Sunday, it was like 28 degrees Celsius, full-blown sunshine. Like the week before had already been freezing. It was still like winter vibes, even though it's like already March, so it should technically be spring. So in my brain, I was like, oh, it's summer now, like we're here. But we got those 2 days, and actually even the locals and like the people, my colleagues who have like lived here for a couple years, they were like, no, that was actually a bit weird as well. Like that was actually a fluke, like not normal. So I was like, okay. So we got teased with that. And then it was like cold again. It was like back to 6, 7, 8 degrees Celsius. I was like, Jesus, it's literally freezing. Like we're getting thrown about. And then finally, like maybe 5-ish days ago, the sun came out, and again it was like high 20s, and I was like, yes, I can film this, like some videos ideas that I had that I wanted to film outside. One of them was including like the first one of this vlog series, but that day, so like that was 2 days ago now, it was highs of like 31, 32 degrees. So I was like, damn, this is like quite crazy. The switch up is giving me whiplash. So that was mad. But anyway, so that was my experience with the weather in the different countries that I've lived in. I must admit, I am enjoying that every single other country does have more sunshine than UK. I'm sorry guys, I had to say it. Like I love the UK people. My friends who live in the UK, shout out to you guys. No hate, no beef with the British, but I must admit, the weather got me fighting for my life. So I've been enjoying more sunshine. And even yesterday, I was kind of like, oh, I'm feeling really like tired and exhausted, but the sun is out. So let me like pick up my ass and go on a 2-hour walk. I don't know why I said 2-hour walk. It wasn't 2-hour walk. It felt like a 2-hour walk. I was like, let me go on a walk outside in the park and listen to some music, and it was good. So shout out to sunshine, shout out to warmer weather, and I'm really glad that, I mean, obviously today it's like raining and windy and stuff. It's like raining even more now, but can you hear that also? It's like someone's like pushing a trolley down the corridor. But I'm so glad that the weather's getting better. I love summer, and literally, hi, I'm Maggie, I love summer. Everyone knows that from back home. They're like, oh, Mags, we've been you. But literally when the sun came out, when I tell you, I felt like a different person. Like I was literally like, the clouds have parted, it's all gonna be all right. There is hope in humanity and the universe. So thank God for that. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna eat some food. I'm gonna get myself ready for work. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Again, I have somehow yapped for like 20 minutes. This happens every time. Like I sit down to film a video and I have a rough time frame in mind, and it's always more, but it is giving, hi, I'm Maggie and I can yap for England. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time.